your host, Skye, and today I have a wonderful treat for you. I have Christian artist Hulvey.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
How are you? Thank you so much for joining us here. Oh, and that is my push-up alarm. Time to go do push-ups. So, wow, you know, you have number one, you're very young in this game, and you have. I read your background. Now, you know, were scrubbing toilets?
Yeah. I was scrubbing toilets, bagging groceries, getting carts from outside at a grocery store when I moved to Atlanta. So yeah, before I was doing music, I was working.
So you live in Brunswick, Georgia?
I'm from Brunswick, Georgia, but now I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's an incredible change in a career path.
Yeah. Basically, I kind of just moved to Atlanta on a whim, and to fund what I was doing, I just started working at a grocery store until I signed. So yeah, it was really interesting, but it taught me a lot though, like a lot of character stuff. So
I want to know because I believe also I read where you had you were in college, or I think maybe about to enter, but kind of backed away from that. So when you were younger, did you think that you were going to go down this particular path?
Nah, I was kind of just doing it for fun. You know what I mean? I don't know if I really saw it going this far, but no, it didn't really hit me till I was really like in late high school and college. And once I got to college and I realized the classes I was taking weren't for me, and I just started feeling that tug on my heart, I was like, nah, I got to do this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I always had like a passion for music, but I think career-wise, you never know until you take a step. So for me, you know what I mean? It took that step of faith. And so yeah.
Right. You had a strong. Now, for those who are not familiar with you, now you're Lecrae, who is another popular Christian rap artist. Now you're signed to his label, Reach.
Yeah, Reach Records.
So for those who may be just wondering, like, I don't want to just assume, but your Christian faith has got to be somewhat extraordinarily strong.
Yeah, he's my everything, to be honest with you. So
wow. So how did you guys meet?
Wow. First of all, before I even get into that, I used to grow up listening to this man's music. So for me, it was just cool in general because I was a fan. That was one of my heroes. But we met, that the A&R of the label brought me to the label just to hang out one day. And then Craig kind of snuck in the door and then said what's up. So that's how we met, on some real chill stuff. And then over time, as I was building with the A&R, he started to kind of see that. And then eventually he kind of stepped in heavy to just kind of be there for me. Be there for me mentor-wise. But it was definitely a process because he wanted to let me grow without stepping in too heavy. You know what I mean? So
now if we could step backward for a second, you said the A&R person. Now how did you even get into the industry? Because I'm sure they didn't just come into the supermarket where you were and like, hey,
Nah. I was in college and I actually sent like 2 demos to him on Twitter from SoundCloud. Yeah, he was like, yo, I had like 200 followers on Twitter. I just sent him a DM. I was like, hey man, these are some of my songs. He was like, yo, these are dope. Keep sending me music. And so then I just I was bothering this man, sending him music all year. And then he eventually just heard some records he loved and brought me up to Atlanta for a little event. And from there, it was really cool just building from there. But yeah, started on Twitter, started on the DM.
So how did you know to reach out to him though?
Say that one more time.
I said, how did you know to reach out? Because you're referring to the A&R person.
Yeah. So
and I'm asking these questions for somebody else who may be out there. I'm like, wow, maybe I have an opportunity. So,
right, yeah. So I saw a news clipping that he had just got hired by Reach. And so I just had seen that and I was like, okay, cool. So in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, he's the A&R. Followed him on Twitter. And I seen that he had sent a tweet and he said send beats to his DM. I'm not a producer, you know what I mean? I'm an artist. And I did make beats, but that was not what I hit him up about. But when I saw that tweet, I was like, you know what? I might as well just send him demos. You know what I mean? If he's taking some music, then I might as well just try. So yeah, I was just kind of staying attentive to that, and it did kind of just pop up. You know what I mean? It was really random, but yeah, definitely for anybody, like stay in tune with kind of who's who.
Wow. So you ended up getting into the studio with Lecrae. What was that like when you first met him? Because, you know, this is somebody that you
Crazy. Yeah, first of all, he's really tall. So I was like, this man is huge.
Yes, he is.
He's huge. But he was just such a cool, he was so nonchalant, you know what I mean? And so chill and humble. So yeah, I think what was interesting, I will say, is one of the things I took away from the first time I met him, because he was so chill, I was like, man, this dude is a normal dude. And that really helped me have perspective, because I was like, this ain't some cocky guy coming in here, just a normal dude. So it was really cool seeing him in that light, like in just a normal human being way, instead of like some glorified, you know what I mean? I'm like, great. It was like, nah, he was just really, really nice and chill. So yeah, it was super cool though, for real.
So what was the first studio session like where you guys were in the lab working? What was that?
Yeah, I remember the first time. Oh, I remember me and my homeboy we were staying in the bunks. Yeah, we were in the bunks at the studio, and it was like 7:30 in the morning. And this man, Lecrae, came to wake us up. He came to wake us up for us to come work with him on some stuff for his album. And so he brought us in the studio, talking 7:30 in the morning. We're barely awake. And he was like, yo, he had this idea planned. He was like, yo, just kind of do y'all thing on this. And so we kind of came up with a hook. And that song ended up coming out, which was so cool. So yeah, I remember that being the first studio session, was like a writing session where it was like me and my homeboy was just there. I was signed at the time, but even though you signed, it still takes time to build that relationship. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool for him to bring us in and just kind of let us do our thing on his album. So that was really cool for it being the first like studio session.
So how does it feel to be labeled as Lecrae's protege?
It's wild. It's really wild because, like I said, he was my hero. So, I mean, it's wild. And two, beyond that, it's like seeing the impact that he's had on people. I mean, that's my goal. Like, I want to do the same thing for, you know, kids out there that just need hope, or anybody, you know. So it's really a blessing to walk in those coattails, you know what I mean? Because he's really paving the way. He took a lot of hits that I'm not going to have to take. So, yeah, it's a blessing, seriously.
So when you, I read your album playlist and, you know, read some of your notes on it. And you know, I'm curious because, you know, you are, you know, kind of young, but it seems like you've already been through quite a lot in your youth. So let's talk a little bit about your writing process and something inspiration. Yeah,
so I really love pulling out like stuff from my childhood. And one of my favorite things from my childhood is Rocky Balboa. I don't know if y'all ever seen that movie, but I love Rocky Balboa. And even so, like for one of the songs on my album, I remember the intro. I was actually in the kitchen with my dad. He was like, yo, like this song sounds like a fight. And it just reminded me of like watching Rocky as a kid and stuff. So I was able to pull from that nostalgia. So when I write, I love to create a nostalgic feeling from that innocent place from my childhood. So that's one of the things I love to do, is pull from childhood inspirations. I also love to pull from stories that I've seen in front of me. You know what I mean? Like there's a part in my album where I talk about, I was at a gas station. It sounds crazy, but it's true. I was at a gas station and I seen a woman in the gas station. She was struggling, like, you know what I'm saying? You could just tell she was going through a lot. And she was literally foaming at the mouth. I mean, it was weird, like drooling. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird. Wow. And yeah, it's really strange, but I can't hide it. Like, it was so real. And I saw her get healed in there. And I was just like, man, this is wild. You know what I mean? When you see something like that, it wakes you up. So for me and my music, like, I want to share all that. I want to share the stuff that makes people go, oh, you know what I mean? Because for me, that's God's power. And so I got to stay true to that, you know? So yeah, yeah, that's kind of some of the things I
So
like to
you
pull
have
from.
the song Reasons. Now that's with Lecrae and Cersina, correct?
Cersina, yeah,
Cersina,
yeah, her
okay.
name's hard to pronounce. Yeah, Cersina.
Well,
Yeah, she's fire.
it's a beautiful song.
Thank you, for
Cersina's
real.
voice is absolutely amazing.
Wild.
What was that
Yeah.
collabo? Now, were you guys all in the studio all at the same time, you know?
Nah, it was wild. Nah, so what's crazy is so Cersina and her team had written that hook a couple years ago, and they were actually trying to pitch it for a Lecrae camp, and I guess they just ain't really pick it up, and so over time they were trying to pitch it to different artists. I guess at Reach, nobody took it, and then our A&R sent it to me, the hook, and I heard it raw with just the piano. So I was like, bro, that's it. Like, let's do it. So I sent it to my producer, Zach Paradise. He flipped that joint in an hour. And then from there, once Lecrae had heard what I did over it, after I cut my verse a couple months later, he wanted in. Like, he asked to be on it. So that's what was so cool. It was all organic. You know what I mean? Nothing was like forced, no business plays. He was just like, yo, like, I want to get on this song. So that's what was so cool about it. You know what I mean? There was no forcing it at all. It was all natural.
And your topic, you know, seems to kind of revolve around your grandfather.
Yeah.
What kind of relationship did you guys have?
We were close. And I was young, you know, I was 7 when he passed, but we had a real special, like super special relationship. You know, just, man, yeah, we were so tight. And I just remember having so many different fun moments with him. And even as a 7-year-old, I knew how much wisdom he had. You know, I was like, man, this dude he's wise. You know what I mean? And he was like a teddy bear. You know what I mean? You could hug him anytime, punch him in the stomach, whatever. He's there. So he was really just such a role model for me. And so when he passed, like any young person goes through, you start to think, man, like, you know, you start to have those doubts of eternity. Even though I knew the life he lived, I was so young. You know what I mean? So I talk about that in the song, not to question if he went to heaven or not, but just to say, man, like, it's really hard to lose somebody, and you start to wonder so many things, like, because you care about them, and you start to wonder, man, did they go to heaven? Man, you just start thinking back to time that you never got. You know what I mean? Because for me, you know, I was really wanting to honestly just get to experience more with him, and just never got that. So that song was based around him. And I'm just so thankful that it's resonating with others, because I know for any of us can speak of this, but loss is hard, you know. It just is.
It is. It's a great song. Now, being a Christian artist, now do you label yourself Christian rap artist?
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting. I make everything. Like, my music is just, it's all over the place. But yeah, I'm a Christian rap artist, a Christian artist, both of those. You know what I mean? I'm an artist, anything. For me, it's like, I love him, and however people want to kind of categorize that for themselves is fine with me. But yeah, I'm a Christian artist. You know what I mean? Like, I make unashamedly Christian music. And I try to do it in a way that can really reach down on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
On anybody. Yeah.
Do you listen to non-Christian music?
Most definitely. Like, my favorite artist is Kendrick Lamar, like, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
He's my favorite artist. I love Kendrick. I love I even love, like, the oldies, like Marvin Gaye. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So for me, I just love music. You know what I mean? I just get to express it the way that I express it. And I love J. Cole too. I love J. Cole.
What would you say is one thing about the music industry that you learned that you didn't really truly realize, and maybe something that you didn't like?
Oh yeah, business relationships is different than personal relationships. That's something I learned, that when people are being short, it's not that they don't like you. It's that they're trying to get their job done. And for me, that's something I had to learn quick. You know what I mean? Because you think that it's all buddy. Because for me, I'm a really personal guy. I'm going to be there to be your friend. If I meet you, it ain't going to be like a stranger to me. I'm going to look at you like a real person with dignity. But the reality is that, you know, people have business to do, and some people aren't or in these places for personal relationships, and that's okay. So that's something I had to learn over time. So yeah, that can be an interesting waters. You know what I mean?
I can only imagine. Yeah, it's like you maybe kind of feel offended. Like, is it something I did?
Yeah,
But,
like, did I do something wrong? Like, yeah.
so now last year, Pandora named you as Christian Artist to Watch. That's pretty big.
Yeah, it was super dope. Yeah, they picked out a couple artists, and I was really blessed to be one of those. And just, yeah, it was cool too, because this is before any of the new music that has came out to this point. So it was just cool that they noticed and that they seen, you know, what was going on. So yeah, that was a serious honor, and it meant a lot to me as a young artist. So yeah.
How has the pandemic affected the way now that, you know, maybe you do your recording or, you know, performance or lack of?
Yeah, so when it comes to recording, a lot of my recording was just in my bedroom, because that's what I had at the time, because all the studios shut down, Reach shut down all their offices. The studios are back up now, which has been really cool. So I've been back in the studio. And for shows, like, it's interesting, God's coming through. Like, I'm still getting show bookings, but it just might look a little different on set, you know what I mean? Social distancing and all that. But, you know, yeah, it's been a little tougher for shows, but it's been a blessing getting some bookings. But yeah, it does look a little different. But thank God that I'm still recording. I think that's a blessing, for real.
Is there any artist that you would just absolutely love to record with?
Man, tons. Like I said, I love to work. Like, Kendrick is my favorite artist. I love to work with Kendrick. I really like Sway Lee too. Like, if I could, I'd love to work with Sway Lee. And then my number one bucket list artist, like, work with, like, on a collab, would be Justin Bieber, 100%.
You know, and I was just about to ask, because, you know, he had this, and I cannot think of the name of the song. It's like his most recent, and it's actually, you know, it kind of took a little twist from the regular Justin type of song, and I just can't remember the name of it.
Who is it?
Oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me crazy if I don't know what it is. Let me see if I can look it up. But I had to, like, do a double take. Was like, this is Justin Bieber?
Yeah, I know. He's reinventing everything he's doing, which is so dope.
Gosh, and he teamed up with somebody. Why can I not remember it?
Oh, the song he got with Chance, Holy?
Yes.
Wow, I love it.
That right there.
Yeah, because his pocket is like, his pop pocket is similar to what I'm kind of doing. Not the same thing, but I definitely lean in that direction on some of the records that I do. So I think it'll be interesting, like a interesting sound.
That would definitely be an interesting collab. But hey, you know, speaking,
hey, if it happens, it happens. And what's cool for me, like, for real, like, I'm just so content with where I'm at, where it's like, I love the people I work with. I love my team, and I love my tribe. And so, you know, if God wants me to work with Justin, I'll do that. If he wants me to work with the same brothers and sisters I'm working with, I'm cool with that too, you know? So, yeah.
So what's next for you? What do you?
So I actually, literally just yesterday, the masters for my album got turned in. So my debut album's on the way this year. Really excited about that. Sharing a lot of pieces of myself that people haven't seen yet. Reasons will be on there. So I'm excited about that.
Tell everyone tell everybody what the name of the album is.
Yeah, so the name of the album is Christopher. And that's my first name. And the definition of my name is Christ bearer. And so I just want people to, like, know who I am, and I serve him. And so in the album, it's a very intimate experience, and you'll get to really just grab a piece of who I am, and hopefully it'll leave people saying, man, I know who I am. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to walk out feeling confident in who God made them to be. So yeah. And then also working on merch. So going to be dropping a brand soon. We're keeping that on the low, but got a brand in the works. Just really excited about that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Will that be T-shirts, sneaks, hats?
A lot of stuff. Dad hats, T-shirts, hoodies, everything. Just a whole brand with a real mission behind it. So really excited about that. It's a way for me to creatively express myself in a whole other aspect. You know what I mean? And still bring God into it. Because clothing is a whole other industry, but there's still room to be the light there too. So yeah, I'm so excited.
Can you let us know what the name of it is, or will it be a surprise?
Yeah. So the name of the brand is Just Visiting, and yeah, so it's actually the concept is that, man, like, I'm not of this world, and so and kind of our little thing that's going with it is pack lightly. So it's like, man, we're not going to take everything that we have now with us whenever we go home. So for me, it's like, man, I want to bring love here. You know what I mean? Like, for the time that I get to visit this earth, I want to bring love here. So yeah, the brand is Just Visiting, and I'm super excited. I'm so excited to roll it out. Yeah.
Males and females, or just all males?
Say what?
Is it for women?
Oh, anybody. Oh yeah, it's gonna be for all people. I definitely think that teens are gonna resonate with it. The way we're gonna roll it out, it's gonna be super fun. Like, I want to put a twist and not make it so serious, but make it more like to where anybody can rock it. You know what I'm saying? If you're 16, you can be like, bro, that's hard. Or if you're 25, 30, like, bro, that's hard. So yeah, we're excited. So
Do you have any piece or pieces of advice for the young gentleman or lady that's coming up and very interested in becoming a music artist, or even a Christian music artist?
Yeah, stay true to you. Stay true to who God made you to be, because when the streams come, when the stuff comes, if you're not being yourself, it just won't fit. You won't feel satisfied with what you're doing. And so, yeah, and enjoy it at this stage, because you'll never get to experience it with this type of innocence. Because later on, as you grow as an artist, you get in the industry, there's more expectations, there's more responsibilities. And at the early stage, you get to enjoy being creative. You get to enjoy just innovating something new. And so enjoy it. Don't be in a rush to blow up, because it's all a fading window. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so that's how I'd say, enjoy it now.
Good words. Make sure you guys enjoy it now, when you do get in. Tell us where we can hear your music, where we can download the album when it is released.
Yeah. So on all platforms under the name Hulvey, Hulvey, Hulvey. And then the album will be called Christopher. So yeah, it'll be on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, any platform, Tidal, all that. So yeah, really excited.
Now, can an up-and-coming artist maybe reach out to you via Twitter?
Yeah. Honestly, for me too, the gram is definitely a good place. Twitter got so much news. I'm like, so the gram is a good place for people to reach out to. You know what I'm saying? If they need advice or going through something. I try my best to like respond. You know what I mean? If somebody's going through something, it's definitely, I can't always get to everything, but yeah, definitely. Try to hit me on Instagram for sure.
Well, it's going to be exciting watching you. I do love Lecrae. I think he is awesome. An opportunity to meet him, and he's absolutely holy moly.
The man's huge. It's huge.
It's great. I think he picked a good one, and it's going to be fun to watch you continue to grow and just really make your mark in this world, and help the next person coming up. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us. And
thank y'all so much for having me.
Yes, it's great. And please go check out the Reasons video. It's a really beautiful video. So
thank you, for real. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your God-given gifts with us and the rest of
100. You too. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching In Style Atlanta today. Hopefully you were inspired and just have a really good feeling in your heart. I told you Hulvey is absolutely wonderful. And it's going to be great to watch him grow. And he's got a good partner behind him with Lecrae. Great with the Reach records. And can't wait to see more from this gentleman. Thanks so much for tuning in Style Atlanta. We'll see you guys back here next time.